Good morning. My name is Katie Nix. I'm a junior here at AHCS. And today I'm going to be talking with y'all about technology and social media addiction. We've all been there, intending to check just one notification on our phones, only to look up an hour later, wondering where the time went. In a world where our devices are designed to keep us scrolling, it is so easy for technology to shift from a helpful tool to an addictive idol. But we aren't powerless in this struggle. As 1 Corinthians 10:13 reminds us, no temptation, not even the pull of a smartphone, is unique to us, and God always provides a way out. By setting intentional boundaries, we can ensure that technology serves our lives without coming between us and Christ. Recent studies show that the average person spends between 4 and 6 hours every single day on a device. That means that in 1 year, people lose 36 to 88 entire days because of screen usage. That's crazy. Now, you might be wondering how we got here. Social media came into our society a few decades ago with the intent to connect and allow people all over the world to speak with one another. In its roots, similar technology dates back to the 1800s, when Morse code was made for rapid, long-distance communication. Now, through various platforms, friends can talk online and share posts that they find interesting or entertaining. When social media is used for its intended purpose, it can be good. But people are quickly seeing how destructive it can be to relationships between people or to individuals themselves. Social media is becoming more and more ingrained into our lives and jobs. Now, you can be an influencer online and make a living off of the internet itself. Even in church, media followings and the overall look of worship heavily lean on technology. The Great Commission tells us to take the gospel to all parts of the earth. And without doubt, modern media can be this tool to help us fulfill this. Churches are now able to reach wider audiences via live streaming church services. Technology and social media will likely keep progressing in our world today. But how can we take it and use it for the good of people and the spreading of the gospel? We have become so attached to our phones that it is very rare to see someone without one. Think about it. When was the last time you went 1 day without using your phone? And no, not because you were grounded or at school all day. Simply because you wanted to have a day with no screens. That doesn't happen very often, does it? Many times, technology can become addictive if we do not set boundaries for ourselves. But first, let's see what addiction actually is. Webster Dictionary defines addiction as the inclination to do, use, or indulge in something repeatedly. There are many things that can lead to a social media addiction. If there are social, psychological, or environmental issues in an individual's life, they can start to rely on the internet and use it as a coping mechanism. If someone lacks a flourishing social life and feels like they don't have friends, bridging that gap online could be an easy solution. And while that on its own is not bad, reliance on these things can become harmful to an individual's life. Many times we do not realize when our friends are struggling, and it is important that we check in on them regularly, encourage one another, and build each other up, as the Bible tells us in 1 Thessalonians 5:11. If we as Christians are building real relationships with others, our friends should feel that they can come to us with what they're struggling with and ask for godly advice, and that they don't have to turn to their phones to help with their problems. Another factor can be the environment a person spends most of their time in. If they feel alone in their household, shutting themselves away from the mess around them feels like an escape. The accessibility to social media and the internet is also a big reason many become addicted. It is just so easy to fill our free time and cure our boredom with screens and spend hours on end doom scrolling. Most of the time, we don't realize how much time we spend on the internet just because it takes over our minds for the time. This routine leads to addiction and can start forming mental and physical effects on us. Research shows that an overuse of social media for a prolonged period of time leads to more anxiety, depression, loneliness, and suicidal thoughts. What you see on social media is basically a highlight reel of their lives. Influencers leave their real problems in the dark and share the best parts of their day to entertain us, their audience. When we see this on our phones, it can make us start to compare and question why our lives are not like those of our favorite influencers. Questions of self-worth or body image start to appear, and this leads to even more stress and anxiety. In our generation, FOMO, the fear of missing out, is something that many of us experience. This is a reason social media can become so attractive, because even if you aren't physically with your friends, you can stay connected with them through the day. When we are afraid to miss things, a dependency on these apps starts to form, and this can be how addiction starts. Because of the impact of technology and social media on users, there are strategies that doctors and psychologists are starting to suggest. Some of these strategies include daily screen time limits, only using devices at certain times of the day, and blocking negative accounts that promote bad things that can harm our minds. There are also some physical effects of long-term screen time use, like eye strain, neck pain, and fatigue. Among other things, these are at the top, and without limiting screen usage, they will get worse. Mental health is not something to be taken lightly, and the majority of people have experienced some type of anxiety or depression in their lives. Luckily, God has given us His Word, and it is healing. I challenge you, next time you feel scared or anxious, do not turn on your phone to distract yourself from your problems. Go find your Bible and open it up. And I would bet that you would find just what you need, even if it's just some encouragement to get through the day. 1 Peter 5:7 states, "Cast all your anxieties on Him, because He cares for you." Ultimately, social media and technology are double-edged swords. They can be powerful tools when used for connection and the spread of the gospel. On the other hand, they can easily become addictive idols that lead to anxiety, loneliness, and physical strain. We all know how easy it is to fall into doom scrolling and constant comparison, losing hours and days of our lives to a digital highlight reel, which leaves us questioning our own self-worth and value. By setting clear and intentional boundaries and prioritizing real relationships, we can reclaim our time and mental health. So, together, let's choose to use these platforms for the good of people and the spread of the gospel. When we do this, we can make sure that our lives are centered on Christ, and that something as silly as a screen never gets in the way of Him and His plans for each and every one of us. Thank you.